Dr. Henry Halley was a man who had a strong conviction that everyone ought to read the Bible. He is best known as being the author of Halley's Bible Handbook, which has sold over 5 million copies over the years. Halley's Bible Handbook started out as a 16-page booklet, and it ultimately grew into an 864-page almanac of biblical information. Near the back of that book, there is a small section from pages 757 through page 804 on church history, which contains the true history of the gross wickedness of the popes and the papal persecutions. It also contains the history of those who rebelled against Rome and sought to reform it. Here are some excerpts from Dr. Halley's Bible Handbook. The papacy's methods. It brought itself to power through the prestige of Rome and the name of Christ, and by shrewd political alliances, and by deception, and by armed force. And by armed force and bloodshed has maintained itself in power. The story of the papacy has been written as a background to the Reformation, in the belief that we ought to be familiar with the wherefore of the Protestant movement and the historical foundations of our Protestant faith. Some of the things told herein seem unbelievable. It seems inconceivable that men could take the religion of Christ and develop it into an unscrupulous political machine on which to ride to world power. However, all the statements made herein may be verified by reference to any of the complete church histories. Halley's Bible Handbook, 24th edition, Zondervan Publishers, pages 783 and 784. In her well-documented book entitled Billy Graham and His Friends, A Hidden Agenda? Dr. Kathy Burns wrote the following concerning the well-known evangelist Billy Graham. Quote, "Not only does Graham not attack the falseness in the Catholic Church, but he even protects the wrong. For instance, around 1961, Billy Graham bought the rights to Halley's Pocket Bible Handbook. The original Halley's, up until the 22nd edition in 1959, warned about the Jesuits. There are chapters about the Roman papacy and the Jesuits. According to Mrs. Halley, Mr. Halley spent years working on those chapters and never would have permitted the book to be changed. However, when he died, Billy Graham bought the rights and removed all the research and warning about the Jesuits in the editions Billy Graham printed." That's from Billy Graham and His Friends, A Hidden Agenda, 2001, page 440, published by Sharon, author Dr. Kathy Burns. The Reformers spoke out against the false doctrines of Roman Catholicism for a reason. Because the doctrines were false, and they knew it. It cost many of them their very lives. Their lives. Okay, you saw it for yourself. You saw the video. Here is a copy of the Billy Graham Crusade edition. I searched the matter out for myself, and sure enough, the information regarding Rome, it was removed. I owned 2 other versions of that book. Here's a pocket edition, and here's a large print edition. Both of those editions contain that important info on Rome. Now, first of all, I speak to you as a blood-washed, redeemed believer in Jesus Christ. The Lord Jesus Christ delivered me out of the system of Roman Catholicism, and that is why I speak the way I do. Now, what is the purpose of this video? First of all, I want to show you that the Billy Graham Evangelistic Association, they've been compromising with Rome for decades now. But he is not alone. We are living in a day when many others are compromising with Rome. Think of 1994, the ECT document. Chuck Colson was one of the main initiators of that document, evangelicals and Catholics together. Pat Robertson, well-known man, 700 Club, he is also a compromiser with Rome. Many, many others. And I warn you that the Bible declares that there is a curse upon a false gospel. Read Galatians chapter 1, verses 8, 9, and 10. Keep that in mind. There is a curse upon the false gospel of Roman Catholicism, and I encourage you to take a stand against that system, even in your own church. If you find your pastor inviting perhaps priests to speak, let your warning signals be heard clearly. So I leave you with that. Stand for the truth and be encouraged in the Lord Jesus Christ once again.